Hello YouTube, this is Rs3 coming at you with a new series. It's been a while since I uploaded anything. Um, Recently I tried out old school RuneScape and I was really confused by it at first. Just because it's so different from RuneScape 3 and I haven't played that style of RuneScape basically since the evolution of combat, so it was kind of a blast. But I just figured I'd make a new RuneScape 3 account and try to explain as much about the game as possible, while also just kind of progressing the account. I really don't play my Iron Man anymore because I just do not have the time to do it with my job and everything. But Mainscape RuneScape 3 is pretty easy. There's large experience rates. It's very easy to get bonus experience. It's very easy to get money to train skills. So I'm just going to be showing some early game methods of leveling, different things you can do for money, as well as talking about the differences in the combat systems as far as I can tell. So I'm going to create my character and I'll let you know once I get in game. Give me 1 second. Alright, so when you start your game, you're going to start, depending on what you select when you create your character as far as how recently you've played, it will either start you on the tutorial island just in old school RuneScape, or it will spawn you here directly in Birth Orb. It's kind of weird because Lumbridge isn't like the beginner section anymore as far as the world is concerned. It's mostly in Birth Orb and Taverley, and you can see there's all these skill trainers here that kind of introduce you to the different tasks that there are and different things that you can do with the skills. You will notice that there is quite a few more skills than there are in old school RuneScape. So you got Dungeoneering, which technically came out before the evolution of combat, but I think it came out after 07, so it's not included in old school RuneScape. It's a skill where basically to train it the way it was originally intended, I'll go over that when we get to it, but it's Dungeoneering. Then you got Divination, which is basically harvesting energy, which you can use to make various different things or transform things into other things. You have Invention. Invention is the only elite skill in RuneScape 3. Elite meaning, as you can see in the description there, where I'm hovering, you need 80 smithing, 80 crafting, and 80 divination before you can even start using that skill. However, it is worth trying to get those sooner rather than later, because Invention is very useful. It provides you huge boosts to your damage because you can basically disassemble things for parts, and you can use those parts to make different perks for your weapons and armor, which do different things. Like there's a perk called Venom Blood, which basically gives you permanent immunity to anti-poison. So that's very useful at certain bosses, like Raxor, it's very useful at. But we'll get into the bosses later as we kind of start to get towards them. And then the latest skill that came out is Archaeology. Archaeology involves basically excavating at sites spread out throughout all of Gilnor. And you get materials, and after you get materials like some gravel and then damaged artifacts, and you use the materials to repair the damaged artifacts, and then you can trade those in for type of currency which you can use to unlock a bunch of buffs. That's kind of an oversimplification of that, but as we get to each skill I'll kind of go over it. In addition to those new skills, there is a lot of other content within the skills that are the same that's very different. But the first thing that you want to do when you start any account is unlock, well, you're going to want to unlock the lodestones as like your primary objective, but right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of clean up my interface a little bit because I really do not like how it's organized. That's a quest list, which we can access later. So this right here, this is kind of the first difference between RuneScape 3 and old school RuneScape, is you have abilities that you have to use. Now you can all have them auto trigger like it's set up right now, or you can do full manual where you have to click on keybinds associated with each ability in order to use it. In the early game, you're fine just leaving it on Revolution, which is just auto-activating the abilities, but when you start getting into the more later game bossing, it's not required, but it's pretty much the norm and what everyone does to do full manual, because you can get better DPS by controlling instead of having it automated. Let's see. I do not want this here. Kind of reorganize this here. Oops, there we go. And then I can move this bar into my top left. This is a tab for drops, but we can get that later. Let me shrink this so I can move it in here with this. Come on, here we go. Nope, that didn't work. There we go. And then let's get rid of the magic prayer. There we go. We got our skill level here. I kind of want that switched with that. There we go. So we got our backpack all set up here. Whoops. Wrong way. There we go. Got our skill level. Let's remove this. I don't need a bronze dagger right now. Alright. And I do kind of want my magic and prayer books right here. So all we got to do is go here, click on magic, and you can move your magic book right here, and click on prayer, and you can move your prayer book right there. Alright, and then you got your magic and your prayer here. You can click on here, it separates everything by what it's used for. So here's like your combat abilities for magic. Whoops, that's my prayers. These are your combat spells that you select. This will change just like in old school if you switch to ancient spells or lunars. You got all your teleports here. You got things like enchantments, telegrab, alchemy, all that stuff in this tab. Alright, so first things first, we have to unlock these lodestones. So if you click on the world map here in the top right corner, let's see, map, just close out of that, I don't need that. So right now I'm free to play just because I have not bothered with, why isn't it showing the lodestones? I'm not sure why it's not showing the lodestones, but there's a lodestone here in Birthorpe. It's not even showing the town names. That's weird. Let me try exiting out of this and going back in. Nope. It doesn't even say Falador or anything. Well, there's lodestone in Taverley, like right here. You just gotta click on it to activate. There's one Falador. There's one south of Varick, there's one in Lumbridge, one in Alcarid. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go unlock all these. If you need to know where to find them, you can just go on the wiki, and if you search for lodestone, I'm sure you can find the locations of all of them. I'll be back once I got all the lodestones unlocked. Oh, by the way, if you're new, could try the task system if you've never played like old school RuneScape or Rs3 before. And it would probably be a good introduction to stuff for you. But right now I'm just ignoring it because I don't need it. Alright, so far I've unlocked Birthorc, Taverley, and Falador lodestones. And then I ran over here to the player, Stronghold Player Security. This you can do with a fresh account in RuneScape 3. All the monsters in the dungeon are non-aggressive. It wasn't that way in old school from what I remember when I played. I got killed while I was in here because I thought it was the same as RuneScape 3 where it was just kind of non-aggressive mobs. But that is not the case. Also, it's less annoying too in RuneScape 3 because not every single door you get security questions at. That was really kind of excessive in my opinion. But when you go to loot the chest, you do get the questions. Anyway, I'll be back when I'm done with this. Alright, just finished Player Stronghold of Security or whatever it's called. Got my 10k, got my rainbow boots. If anyone's wondering why I made my character a woman, there's a quest you have to be a girl in order to do. And it's a fairly early game quest, so I'm just gonna wait until after I do that quest to change it. So, also, while I'm running to get this air staff here, this is one really nice thing about RuneScape 3 is your run energy does not deplete nearly as fast as in old school. And if it does deplete, all you have to do is right click on your run and click rest, and you'll just sit down and you can see your run energy just fills up even faster. And then you can just click off. So let me get my magic staff real quick, and then I'm going to continue unlocking some lodestones. Okay, that is the final lodestone unlocked as far as free-to-play is concerned. That's in Fort Sarum. So now if you click H, your home teleport, you can see you can teleport. Oh, I forgot to unlock Edgeville. I'll do that next time I need to go to the Grand Exchange. But yeah, you can have Edgeville and the Wilderness. Those are the only two I haven't unlocked. And I kind of jumped the gun on that. But you basically can just teleport to any of these locations. And unlike in old school, you don't have to wait 30 minutes between teleports. There's literally no cooldown between teleports, but it does take approximately the same time to teleport back. Let's see. Okay, that's just the guide system there. Okay, but one thing I did want to kind of show you guys, and this is something which people love and people hate. Because it tends to lead to a lot of microtransactions. It's this treasure hunter thing. Basically, there's a bunch of chests or random little games you have to do, and you get rewards. So you see I got medium prismatic fallen star. Basically, that's just going to give me a certain amount of bonus experience. So when I'm training a skill, let's say in this instance wood cutting, let's put it on wood cutting, and I chop down this tree. Huh, that's weird. It didn't give me any extra XP, did it? Huh. But it's showing that I have the bonus XP. Maybe I can't use it if I'm not a member. I've never thought of that before. But it's kind of controversial in the RuneScape community because you can buy those keys, and sometimes there's really overpowered promotions going on where you can get like 7 times prizes, like pretty frequently. To the point where on my original main account, I literally trained 1 to 99 agility just by saving my keys and using them for like when they're crazy good events. When I say saving my keys, I mean saving my keys that I get from quests, because quests will reward a treasure hunter key. So anyway, the next step that I'm going to do here is I need to make some starting cash, and I want to train my combat at the same time before I start questing. So here in Lumbridge, if you go here, you can see on the minimap there's a bank right here, and you got your chicken pen right here. I have my abilities set to auto dupe. I actually want to put that and that ahead of combust. But yeah, then you just click on your chicken, kill it in one shot, and holy cow, that's 1.8k. What's worth that much is the chicken. You can see there the grand exchange price is 1.185k. And they actually sell for that much. That's not just there being like a shortage of raw chickens out there or anything. I can verify they do sell for that. So I'm gonna probably get like 30 magic doing this. Then I'll see what I can get as far as money is concerned. Yeah, one thing, I was trying to figure out if I wanted to mention this right now, but yeah, one of the differences in combat between old school RuneScape and Rs3 is that magic and range, you don't really use that much ammo, because whenever you cast an ability, you don't have to use the runes, you just have to have enough runes to cast the spell you have collected. But the abilities themselves do not consume any runes, so it's pretty good. It's a good quality of life, because yeah, that was one thing that kind of annoyed me about this battle artist. But you can see this is pretty fast XP. I'll do that in a bit. Okay, so I just realized something when I was killing these chickens. I have not gotten 30 magic yet, but this is a good thing to kind of teach anyone who is unfamiliar with how to toggle things off in RuneScape, because the interface is kind of weird. Right now, I'm set to get both magic and defense XP from killing the chickens. So, like, see, it's split between magic and defense. I don't want that. I just kind of want raw combat power right now. So if you go to your settings, click on settings, and then go to combat XP, which is under this tab, combat and action bar. Let's see. So I want just ranged and just magic, and you can go back and change this at any point. Just attack and strength for now. Yes, and then is there anything else? Okay. I will be back when I have 30 magic. So, another thing to take into account when you're talking about the combat system in RuneScape 3 is there are different types of abilities. So you got your basic abilities, Dragon Breath, Rack, Impact, Combust, Melee Range, all those things will have different abilities. But these can be used without any adrenaline. As you fight, you get more adrenaline. You can see from your bar here and on the bar from the character. You get the adrenaline bar to 50%, then you can use what's called a threshold ability, like Deep Impact. If you see, it requires 50% adrenaline. It doesn't use up all 50%, but you have to have 50% in order to cast the ability. once you get to 100% adrenaline, though, that's when you get ultimate ability. When you use that ultimate, it will consume all your adrenaline, so you'll have to just start out with your basics again. Um, so you need 100% adrenaline, and then you can use it. And it's kind of that same system for melee and range too. They're all going to have their basic abilities, which build up to threshold abilities, which build to ultimate abilities. Alright, let's kill a couple more chickens here. Shoot. I can't access that one. Alright, let's now kill it. Not sure where all the other chickens went. Well, there's one over here. Come on. I'm just waiting for 30 magic. I thought I was right next to it. There we go. Now we got it. 30 magic. Let's collect all these raw chickens. And I will show you exactly how much I made on the way from 1 to 30 magic. Let's see. Here we go to the bank. Alright, let's get notes on everything. So I killed 528 chickens. I didn't necessarily pick up all the feathers, but I tried to pick up the ones I could. So we got our price checker here, everything in our inventory. So 666k. Let me see exactly how much this actually sells for. Alright, so the chickens and the feathers pretty much insta-sold at the price I put them in at. So I have 8k in my pouch right now. Let's collect all this. So 681k. That's a good chunk of starting cash. Now I am gonna reinvest this money into crystal keys. Crystal keys, because when you open this chest in Taverley that I'll show you, you have a chance of getting like I think it's like either 100 or 150 of these base type runes plus 50 of these runes all the way up to but not including blood. And it's a fairly common drop that you get. Plus there's other things you can get like salvage too, which will make up the price of the key, because if we look at the key prices, let's see. I did get membership by the way already, so crystal key. So it's 17k each. So let's see. No, I can't do that. I think I might just try to make a little bit more starting cash before I try to get into this. I'll probably do some quests to get this, to get at least 25 quest points to try to get a fortunate component for some money. So I'll be back. I just got some quests to do. Alright, so before I get started on the quest grind, I did get some new items. I got Air Battle Staff, so it's a level 30 staff. Still gives unlimited air runes, so I can just drop that. I got a Rain of Wealth that is charged because Rain of Wealth, I believe, has a teleport to the Grand Exchange. Yes, it does. And then Amulet of Glory, just because it gives better stats than Amulet of Magic does. So before I get started on the quest grind, I'm just going to go unlock the Edgeville Lodestone and the Wilderness Lodestone, which are the only two I've forgotten to unlock so far. Then I'll be back with whichever quest I do first. Alright, almost done with Demon Slayer here. There we go. Delirth is defeated. And we are getting out of here. Let's see. Alright, so you can see anytime you complete a quest, you get 2 treasure hunter keys. Those do not go away, the rewards you get from quests. So each day you only really have to use the 2 treasure hunter keys that you get for free each day just for being a member, because those will not stack. Those, if you already have 2 from the previous day, you won't get another 2 the next day. But 3 quest points, some combat lamps, silver light, treasure hunter keys. Let's put all these in magic. I don't think I'm going to get a level or anything off that, but alright. Magic XP. Continue. I think I have. Yeah, I do. So you see, I got 2 keys from the quest, and then I have 2 for my daily amount, so I only need to use 2. I'm not going to use more than 2 because this is kind of a bad promotion going on right now. Um, it's not nearly as good as some of the other ones. Okay, here we go. Shoot again. Large prismatic star. Let's backpack that. We'll put it on herb lore. Alright, I'll be back with the next quest complete. Alright, that is Blood Pact complete. 1 quest point, 100 attack, strength, defense, ranged, and magic. Bunch of level 1 weapons, which are pretty much useless, I'm going to destroy, and 2 more treasure hunter keys. So, still stacking those up. Just rub that. And on to our next quest. I did get some levels there, but it's nothing massive. Alright, I just put the skull back into this coffin, so this should be Restless Ghost complete. Let's see what I get. Yeah, it's got cutscenes, a lot of the quests in RuneScape 3 do, and some of them are actually fully voice acted too. So quest point, 125 prayer XP, plus 5 bones that give 200 each, and more treasure hunter keys. Plus I got the Ghost Speak amulet from that quest, which is going to be very, 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 very helpful in later quests. So just for that quest, I got from 1 to level 9 prayer. Cool. Be back with the next quest. Alright, so now I just need to talk to the cook here in Lumbridge. And... oh man, I don't get to go to the Duke's party. Anyway, another quest point, 300 cooking XP, some sardines, access to the cook's range, and some more treasure hunter keys. I will be back with the next quest. Then I got 4 cooking. Okay, so I missed recording it because I just missed recording it, but I just took a break, got 5 agility. I got 5 agility because it unlocks a couple of things. You see it unlocks Surge, Dive, and Escape. These are kind of mobility spells for melee, range, and mage. And it's just really nice because it helps you get around faster. Like, let me put, okay, I got Surge here. I want Surge on my equal sign. You can rebind any of these keybinds to whatever you want, but I'm just used to having it on this. So basically, if you're running and you press Surge, it kind of teleports you in that direction that you're running. And this is pretty cool, 1, because it gives you extra mobility. Number 2, there are some things where you can avoid having to fight certain monsters by surging. Like in Elite Dungeon 1, there are certain angles that you can surge at where you can kind of jump over walls. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I think what I'm gonna do before I get back into questing, I already did a couple here, but I'm gonna do challenges. So I think there are 2 or 3 sets of these basic challenges before you get your normal everyday challenges. Um, so I'm gonna do these real quick. I got uh, common gems, which are in this mine right over here by the forges. Wood cutting, I can just cut any of these trees. Fishing, there's a crayfish spot right up there, kind of to the south. So I'll get this done, and I'll be back when I'm done with these 3. Alright, so I just finished all of these challenges, these basic ones. So claim rewards. Now I got a fire making, cooking, and fletching challenge. How many fire making? 2, cooking, 3, fletching, cool. So let me do these real quick and then I'll be back. Okay, all those challenges done, so let's claim those. Basic crafting, gemstones, cut opals or other gems. I already have those, so let's cut them. There we go. Basic mine clay and pottery, so that's in here in this thing. But let me sell some of this stuff because my inventory is getting too cluttered. Alright, I know how these shops work. Okay, continue. This is kind of annoying. Okay, there we go, cool. So, sell all those, sell all those, sell those. Those I can keep, I'll probably need those at some point. Sell, sell. Alright, I'll be back when I'm done with these next challenges. Alright, I just finished these tasks, but I'm gonna finish up crafting these into pots and firing them. Only claim those rewards, and I got mining, smithing, and equipment as my next one, so I'll be back when I'm done with those. Alright, so one thing I want to talk about real quick, for any old school RuneScape players who are watching this, there was a mining and smithing rework a couple years ago. So the skill is a bit different from what you're probably used to. So for one thing, rocks never degrade, so once you get an ore, it doesn't degrade the rock. Also, you'll see some rocks are shiny like this one. So if you're not completely AFK, you can hit that for like a critical hit. And then you're good to go. It's not really showing it here because I think this is just a tier 1 rock. But there should be an endurance bar underneath this blue thing, which is your progress towards getting an ore. I think it's like a orange or yellow color. And that basically will make it so that you're hitting your maximum amount on each hit. And the rate at which that bar drains is influenced by your strength level. So if you're going to train mining in the long run, it's probably better to do your strength, but we're just doing a daily challenge for now. When they redid the mining rework, they also reworked smithing. So now, first off, you can store all your ores and your bars in a metal bank, which can be accessed from any forge anywhere in Gielinor. So just deposit that. Then you can smelt it. So you just click on bronze bar, begin project. And you can see I'm getting these bronze bars even though I don't have any copper or tin in my inventory. You can then deposit those bars in there. You can use the forge to heat up the bars to make stuff. In this instance, I just need one piece of equipment, so let's just go for a bronze full helm. And you can see you want this bar to be fully heated because it will help get the progress faster. And you notice as you're smithing it, the heat of the bar is decreasing. It's not that big a deal when you're talking about the base version of the items, but When you get later into smithing, you'll actually upgrade these items using extra bars, which will get you more smithing experience at a higher rate. So it's important in order to get your maximum XP rates to just reheat your bars there. Um, but that's basically it. Also, when you're mining, instead of getting gem rocks randomly, you'll get these geodes, which are different in the rewards they'll give you. The low level gems just, the low level rocks just give you these low level ones, but when you get to the high levels, um, you start talking about uh, getting a bunch of different stuff. Um, how much equipment did I need for this challenge? I needed 5 pieces of equipment, so let me kill one more cow. Alright, so I got the cow hide, um, and then let's tan the hide with Tanya hide. Alright, now if we go to Jack of all, we should be able to buy some thread from him. Yeah, I can actually get 10 thread for free. Let's craft this into leather chaps, 5 of them. Alright. Alright, so these 3 challenges were actually my 3 daily challenges for the day because I kind of got through the tutorial for doing these. So every day you'll get 3 challenges. Uh, you do those challenges, and then it will reward you with hefty amounts of XP. And treasure hunter keys, I believe, for each one that you complete. So you see I got 2 crafting levels from that, 3 smithing levels, and 3 mining levels. In addition to that, each day that you complete, so for every 3 of these challenges that you complete, you unlock a weekly reward chest. And you can see it has different things. Like this is a small dungeoneering token box. You use tokens to unlock different rewards from the Dungeoneering reward shop. I'll go into that more when I start doing Dungeoneering. You got advanced pulse cores, which give you bonus XP for a certain amount of time while training. I think they also can boost certain stats as well. Medium skill training dummy crates. So rather than actually training skills, they have dummies now, which you can deploy to just kind of train the skill AFK. These challenge tokens basically will allow you to skip a challenge but still get the XP reward for doing it and get credit for completing it. Aura refreshes. Uh, there are different buffs, both skilling and PVM buffs that you can get for these different auras. I don't own any yet, but you unlock those auras with loyalty points, which you get for being subscribed as a member. Um, if you get the Premier package, I believe you get a huge Premier package is just where you pay for the entire year up front. You get a huge amount of loyalty points, and you can unlock different auras. Like there's one which is I think Penance aura, where if while whenever you're damaged in combat, it restores a certain amount of prayer. There's a Vampirism aura, which will heal you for a certain percentage of the damage you deal. There's different accuracy auras to increase your accuracy. There's damage boosting auras, which increase your damage at the cost of taking more damage. So they're just very versatile. There's also skilling auras, which help you get skills faster. Dungeoneering wildcard, get 50% more XP. Proteans are basically resources that you can use to train skills. Um, but they're not like normal resources. So like you get logs, which you can either fletch, make fires with, and they typically give quite a bit of experience, but they're kind of slow. Magic notepaper, uh, basically what it does is you just use it on items in your inventory and it turns them into notes. So if you're killing things like, let's say, frost dragons, to get the frost dragon bones to make money, This is very useful because you will cut down the amount that you have to bank. Um, yeah, that's pretty much all the weekly rewards that are here this week. Um, there are other ones that you can get like Death Touch Darts, Menifite gift offerings, port resource crates. There's a bunch of different stuff. But all in all, it's generally a good idea to do these challenges because it gets you the treasure hunter keys, gets you free XP. Um, there's just no reason not to. So let's go through some of these things we get. That's one of the requirements for Tail of the Muzpa. You can see as you level up, you get different buffs towards your mining, like 5% better critical swings, um, double ore mining, all that cool stuff. Smithing, you see you can heat bars faster. Heat cap is increased, meaning you don't have to heat it up as much. Um, but yeah, that's basically it. So now since I'm done with my daily challenges, I think I'm going to go do a rune shop run to get some more starting cash. Alright, so the only runes which are really worth buying are the fire, water, air, earth, mind, and body and nature runes. Because the other runes sell for about the same price on the GE, sometimes less. I think cosmic runes actually sell less for that. Blood runes are also very good to buy. Unfortunately, I think the only place you can get blood runes at is the Yanil Magic Guild, and also the Lunar Island shop, which I don't have either of those yet. But I'm going to go to the Varic Magic shop as well as the Port Sarim one to get some extra runes. And I'll show you a couple different things why getting daily runes is good. So there are a couple of reasons why doing these rune shop runs is really good. So number one, if we pull up our price checker, you can see I spent maybe 150K and look at how much money I get back, 854,000. A large portion of that is in your uh, nature runes, water runes, and fire runes. Nature runes just because you need them for a high alchemy, so they're always in demand. Bought those for I think like 350 GP each. Um, Water and fire runes, those are in high demand because the current PVM meta is to use magic because once you do this quest, City at Sentistan, you get additional ancient magic spells, which are very helpful for PVM. Like there's one that for all the magic tank armor you wear, it reduces your damage like crazy to the point where you can AFK a lot of bosses and just completely ignore their mechanics. Um, and then there's also another spell like Exsanguinate, which has really, really, really good DPS. I think for Exsanguinate you need blood runes, so you can see blood runes are worth like 1,370 each. Um, but I couldn't really get any blood runes because, as I said, I don't have the Yin Magic guild unlocked or the Lunar Shop unlocked. But you want to save your Earth, Water, Mind, and Body runes because I'll show you why. There is something once you get 50 rune crafting that you can make in the rune crafting guild. It's called Viswax. You use this to either charge your home teleport to make it a quick teleport, where you can teleport instantly instead of having to wait. You can also use Viswax to extend daily challenges, extend your daily divination resource divine location limit. Uh, you can reset auras with it. Um, and that's why most of the time it's so expensive is because resetting auras, because the auras do have a time limit on them. And when you're in the end stages of PVM, you want to be able to reset your auras so that you can keep grinding out the bosses. So you can see they're 19k each, and if you use the low-cost runes like air runes, water runes, earth runes, mind runes, body runes, you may not get the full amount of Biswax each day, but you will maximize your profit. But first, let's sell these fire, um, water, and nature runes. So water, there we go. I'm just putting it in at 5% below GE just because I want to insta sell and I'm still going to make profit off of it. So there we go. 11. So I'm over a mil now. 1,120,000 coins. And I'll just put the rest of these runes in the bank. Where's my bank? Here it is. Alright, so I'll be back with some more quests. Alright, so something I'm going to do here is I'm going to be doing a wilderness flash event. In case any of you do not know at this point, the wilderness is opt-in PvP at this point. And every hour there are these different events. Some of them require combat, but some of them don't. Like this butterfly swarm does not require any kind of combat, so I'm going to be doing this one. But this next one, which is an hour from now, the King Black Dragon Rampage, that does require combat. Once I'm a little bit higher level combat level, I will be doing that whenever possible because it's considered an elite event, which means that you get certain rewards from it that are very, very, very good. But all in all, just in the early game, anytime you can do one of these wilderness events, I'd recommend doing it. I'll be back with the rewards. Alright, finishing up this wilderness event here, and let me see what I get real quick. It'll just take about 17 seconds. So possible rewards, you can get salvage, you can get infernal ashes, which you can use for prayer. From the elite events, you can get like a tier 87 bow, staff, or melee weapon. And you see you get the sack of wild rewards. And you can see from that, from gathering the butterflies and the XP reward from it, I got 10 hunter. That's one of the requirements for Cold War. I'm going to be doing that at some point because penguins are very, 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 very good. It's just a whole bunch of free XP for very little work. Anyway, let's see what I got here. So you see I got 31 infernal ashes. I got some energy. So again, if you're from old school RuneScape, this energy is stuff that you get from divination. It's used to do a bunch of different things. Like you can see, you can transmute raw sharks into sea turtles. You can convert crimson charms into blue charms. Uh, there's divine locations like this divine herb patch. This energy is also used in that elite skill I was telling you, Invention. I think you need the energy to make divine charges, which is what your equipment runs off of. That's how you power all those perks I was talking about earlier. I think you also have to use it in order to augment an item in the first place. You have to create an augmenter, which you then attach to an item. But let's go ahead and sacrifice these ashes at this altar here in the wilderness. This basically gives you the same effect as a gilded altar. I'm not sure if there are gilded altars in old school RuneScape or not. Again, I'm not sure exactly when those were introduced, but you can see 219 prayer XP per, and I got 31 of those just from that one event. And you can get even more than that if you're lucky. But this is probably how I'm going to get my prayer to 43, is just doing these. I may need to buy some, but they're really not that expensive. They're like 1.3k each. But I'm already 20 prayer. This is just from one inventory. But yeah, Let's see. That Bone Crusher, that's a reward from Dungeoneering. I'm not sure if you saw that thing pop up. I'll show you what I have here once I'm done with this inventory. Okay. So you can see there's this proselyte armor. That's really not a big deal in RuneScape 3. This Bone Crusher is nice though because it's a reward from Dungeoneering and will basically automatically bury any bones whenever they drop. Um, and that is good because if you use it in conjunction with another Dungeoneering reward, which I think is like the Dragon Tooth Necklace or something like that, um, it will also restore prayer points. So if you're like at Grardor or Krill, um, and you have the Bone Crusher and that necklace equipped, it will automatically bury them, restore prayer, and it helps cut down on the amount of supplies you have to use. Um, so it's just very helpful. So just from that one Wilderness Splash event, I got all the way up to 25 prayer. So now I'm gonna get going back on some more quests. Now since I have some starter cash and I did that, um, I think the next. Sorry about the game there. I was watching that. The next event I will be able to do is this surprise seed lanes thing in 2 hours and 15 minutes because Forgotten Soldiers and KBD do require combat, and I'm not high enough to deal enough damage because you have to deal 70,000 damage. Um, I'm not sure. I don't think I could do King Black Dragon. I might be able to meet the damage requirements, but I definitely would not be able to survive, I don't think, because I don't have protection prayers yet. Anyway, I'll be back with some quests. Alright, this should be the end of Druidic Ritual. They're pouring the potion on the rock, I guess, in Stonehenge. There we go. Come on. Alright, let's see here. Come on. Okay, so 4 quest points, 250 Herblore XP, some more treasure hunter keys. I got all the way up to 3 Herblore. I'm going to go ahead and just put these in the bank, and then I'll be back at the next quest. Alright, that is Gunner's Ground complete. 5 quest points, 300 crafting XP, some swanky boots. Sorry, but I think my rainbow boots are more swanky than that. And some more treasure hunter keys. So I'm going to continue here. Let's use this. I got to 10 crafting. What do I want to use this on? Let's use it on prayer. Okay. Next quest up is Goblin Diplomacy. I'll be back when I finish that. Alright, that is Goblin Diplomacy complete. 5 quest points, 200 crafting XP, so I'm at 21 total quest points. And let's see, do I get a crafting level? Yeah, I get 11 crafting. Doesn't really unlock anything except leather van braces, wooden pyre ships. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Alright, now I'm gonna see if there's any quests that can give me 4 quest points, so I can get 25. Alright, so that is Ernest the Chicken complete, which is 4 quest points for a total of 25, and we get 2 more treasure hunter keys. 3k coins is pretty good as well. But the reason I've been going for all these quests this episode is you can see here, visit May at her quest point shop to see what extra rewards you unlocked. Basically, every 25 quest points that you get, you can get magical dice from May, this chick here, which will give you a random clue skull reward plus a certain amount of GP depending on the tier of dice. I believe tier 1 is 250k. So you just roll that dice. Yep, you see 250k. So you can just add that to your pouch. Oops, why is that asking me? Okay, there we go. So 250k there, plus you can get a clue skull reward as well, and some of these are fortunate components, which is something you use for invention, so you would disassemble them for a fortunate component, which you use to make various different items once you unlock invention. So you can see here, this is worth 1.432 million GP. So that is very, 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 very good. We can go and sell this at the Grand Exchange. Alright, exchange. Let's sell this baby. Alright, so minus 5%. Oh, that didn't sell. Let's cancel and try to sell for a little cheaper. I'm not too worried about getting the max amount of money off of it because mainly I just want to get some money. Damn. Okay. Let's try minus 15%. Okay, it is not really selling right this second, so I'll be back once it sells. And then I'm going to buy some crystal keys. So, bit disappointed about this. This was supposed to be like 1,450,000 coins. Most I could sell it for was 1,078,000 coins, but that still gets me enough to buy, I believe, the G limit of crystal keys. Let's see. Crystal key. Whoops. Let me go back. Crystal key. Let's go to limit. Yeah, the limit is 100 per 4 hours. Let's increase it by 5%. So 1.8 mil. Does not buy at that price. Let me try doing it at 10%. Even at a 10% increase, it should still be profitable. Let's see, limit. So at 19k. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to see exactly how much money can be made off this. So let's see, deposit all these crystal keys, empty your money pouch into your bank. Let me remove these crystal keys real quick. I want to make sure that I'm starting out with absolutely nothing obstructing it, so I can see exactly how much money I make from 100 of them. Let's see, minus 5%, that's still a profit from what I bought. Minus 5%, that's still profit from what I bought because they were 17 GP each. Still profit. Still profit from what I bought. Normally I would just save these, but since I want to see exactly how much money is being made per 100 keys, let's see here, minus 10%. Okay, to inventory. Let's deposit all this money into the bank. Alright, so basically the method for doing crystal keys for profit, you do not want to open them in Prifdinus, because if you open the chest in Prifdinus, you can't get the rune drops. But basically, you go to Taverley. Let's see, run across this river here. Let me surge real quick. Now, you can either bank your keys here and do it individually, or for convenience sake, what you can do is you can sell your keys to the summoning shop and then buy them back. Um, Let me get some GP real quick because I don't want to not be able to buy these keys back. So we'll take like 5k out of the bank. That should be enough. Actually, we'll do 10 just in case. Alright, withdraw 10k. Alright. Now this is a really good money making method. Normally what I like to do when I'm trying to do this for profit is I'll leave an offer for probably about 400 of them in overnight, and then I can do 400 each day basically, because you can only buy 100 every 4 hours. So trade, you just sell all these noted crystal keys to the store, and then you can buy them back. And then all you have to do is run into this house across the street. Whoops. And there's this crystal chest right here. You open it, and you make it so that the bank button is basically on top of the chest, so you can just keep clicking. So bank all, bank all, bank all. And I kind of want to get, you see, this is why it's really profitable. One of these drops gets you 173k. So I'm going to finish up these 100 keys and then I'll be back with the loot I get from that. Alright, so I'm done with those 100 keys. This is the loot that I got. Let's just check and double check and see how much I spent on those keys. So I spent, let's just say, 1.9 mil on it. And then let's open up our price checker. And then we had 255k plus this. So we profited like 1.3 mil just off 100 keys. And you can probably do about 500 an hour if you're doing it properly. So you're probably looking at about 6.5 mil profit an hour. Now that can be different too because you can get more lucky with some of the rune drops or less likely. But that's still solid profit as far as beginning is concerned. So let me sell all this stuff and we'll see how much money I have total. Alright, so I finished selling everything. So I now have 3.9 mil, almost 4 mil total. And this is the skill levels I got from this first episode. I have 25 skill points. Next episode I think is just going to be a more for fun episode. I'll go over exactly what I'm going to do in the intro for next episode. But for now, this is where I'm going to leave it off for episode 1. We made some pretty good progress. There's still some other stuff that needs to get done here in the early game. But before I sign off, I'm going to go ahead and buy another 100 crystal keys. I won't be able to get these for another 4 hours, but that's fine because I have other stuff to do. If you're super impatient, you can just go to World 2, and normally there's people in the GE that have huge stacks of these that are selling them. But I got other stuff to do in the next 4 hours, so just putting that offer in there, and then that'll be it for this episode. If you enjoyed this video or if you have any feedback, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Just let me know. I don't claim to be a guru in everything Rs3, but I have been playing it a while, and I just kind of want to show some tips and tricks to kind of help out anyone who's just getting into RuneScape 3 to kind of make their experience a little bit more smooth. But at the end of the day, it's all up to your personal preference. Some people like going really hard in the paint and doing all the quests. That's not me. I like to do skilling and just do the bare minimum quests and do some PVM. But yeah, that's a good thing about RuneScape is you always have the RuneScape wiki. If there's ever anything that you want to do that I'm not doing, you can just look it up on there. But as I said, that's it for this video. So I'll see you in the next one. All right.